Hello and welcome to FGC Philosophy. I'm your host, the philosopher, also known as Tavian Napier, esports coordinator, performance coach, and so many other things. But today we're going to be talking about gamer burnout. I have a guest with me as well, but I just want to talk about burnout because I think a lot of us are burnt out in multiple different ways. Specifically, I'm talking about fighting game burnout. I've been experiencing it a little bit with Street Fighter, but I also have my guest who's also been experiencing it. He's no stranger to the show. But yeah, it's been something that is super common. It seems like a lot of people are going through it right now, so I wanted to just talk about it and have it be a little bit more lighthearted. We already talked about this topic a little bit before and a few months ago, and I just wanted to revisit it now because it's more specific to COVID. So that said, I brought on Max and Megamaxstar, and he's going to be joining me talking about this topic. How's it going, Max?
Hey man, how you doing? I'm doing good.
So far, so good. Okay, so gamer burnout. We've experienced it. We've talked about it before on an episode, but this is a little bit different. And our experiences are very different as well because I'm at home on paid leave and you're working right now. So I wanted to delve as much as you're willing to into like the cause of the burnout, just like what's going on from your point of view during this whole COVID situation.
Yeah, as of right now, I am a customer service manager, so I am in charge of the front end and everything that happens within that. It's being very particularly frustrating because, of course, Walmart has allowed people to take 2-week leave at any point in time. And in fact, I'm on my 2-week leave as of right now because I'm unfortunately too stressed out and I don't want to be outside during this point in time. Because they are allowing anybody to take their 2-week leave, we have a lot of people gone. So that means scheduling is a lot tighter. We have to deal with a lot more. We just have to work with a lot less and try to produce the same results, if not better. And that's the most frustrating part is during this time, a lot of people are very desperate. A lot of people are just trying their best to, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just frustrating because people are stocking, but they're not stocking at the same time. So you see the same people pretty often, and that's the most frustrating part about the job is seeing people that should be quarantined. They're at your local Walmart instead. So that's Michigan though.
You mean like shopping?
Yeah. So recently, what happened is because too many people were just were shopping for non-essentials, we had to wall off, like literally rope off all non-essential items in the store. And the part that's kind of weird is from my higher ups, they're just like, yeah, we're walling them off, but we're not completely stopping them from buying it. We're just trying to thwart people from trying to be at the store for the wrong reasons. And that's particularly frustrating because we still get more and more people. And also because of the 6 feet rule, we can only have so many registers open at one time. So a lot of times we literally at my Walmart specifically, we can only have 4 registers open at a time, and that's not counting self-checkouts. So you will get a lot of people at one time, and it'll just we'll have lines. We've had essentially almost Black Friday lines, and it's unbelievable, and it's so frustrating trying to work with that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty overwhelming there.
Yeah. And not only that, seeing so many people, that also just means to me that's more people possibly that has, COVID-19, and I don't want to be around these people.
Yeah.
So I took it upon myself to take a 2-week leave because I'm hoping within 2 weeks people will at least have their heads on a little more straight. But who knows at this point?
Yeah. With all that said, I can start to see why you might not want to come home and train in fighting games or compete in a tournament. That's a lot.
It's just so much stress, and it sucks too because it was really killing a lot of the stuff I was enjoying. And the hardest part about it for me too is every day I would wake up for work and I would not want to go, and that's not a healthy work environment you want to be in. If you wake up and you dread going to work, it's not okay. There's something that's unhealthy that needs to be fixed, and I've had those before. So I took it upon myself to at least fix myself, make things better. So yeah, it's also kind of frustrating too because I'm just starting to be a customer service manager. I only started maybe 2 months ago, if that. So I'm still like learning the ropes, and all of this stuff happening at the same time when I'm literally the only manager by myself can be really frustrating. I also won't get my lunch until the store closes, and I usually leave work around 11. So I will take my lunch at 8:30, come back, and then do the closing process.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that's
yeah, it's just
a lot.
it's all the small stuff that just stacks up.
Yeah, it's. I try to remind people, like the people who complain about not having a job. It's like, there's a lot of people out, like, or no, the people that have essential. There's people out there complaining about having an essential job, and like their perspective, there's a lot. The people who still have to work probably have like a double workload right now because of this whole situation. A lot of people can't work because they're at risk. But it is pretty stressful, and I cannot relate. It I'm One, I don't want to sound braggish in this whole situation for anybody. But I'm in a lucky situation right now. Things could change and get worse, so I'm not trying to take it for granted. But from my point of view, right now I'm on paid leave from the university, so I'm essentially a stay-at-home dad. My fiance works from 9 to 5, and so I'm just watching my son from 9 to 5. And I'm not really, other than gaming and maybe a few things on the computer, I'm not really doing too much around him because he wants to get into everything that I'm doing. So I really can't do too much unrelated to him because I have to watch him. If I don't watch him, he'll run off and get into something that he shouldn't get into. And that like it does have its own frustrations because he's 1.5. He's trying to talk, but he can't. He's trying to articulate, and so when he doesn't want something, or when he does or doesn't want to do something, he just throws a tantrum. And there's not really um, a lot you can do other than just make him feel better in the moment because he can't really articulate what he wants, but he can't always have his way. So it's new being a stay-at-home dad when I'm basically a workaholic and haven't really gotten to see my son for a long time. So I'm appreciating and trying to learn how to be a better father. There's stresses that come with that because, again, I'm an overachiever, and so I want to do everything perfectly. So every time he might like bump his head or fall, or like a bad habit pops up or something like that, I take it internally. Or when I can't figure out what it is that he wants, there's a lot to raising a kid that like I did not anticipate, and I welcome the challenge, but it's still challenging. So that happens, and then I try to make sure that I'm spending more time with the family. I'm at home, and we don't really have a set structure or schedule. So essentially, from 5 to 9, I'm trying to make family time because 9 o'clock is bedtime for them. And I just, even if we're not doing anything, I just want to be around the family more because I may not get this opportunity again if I start working again, and I want this opportunity, and so I'm gonna try to make it happen in the future. But until I have enough money to do what I want to do and like my own business, I'm at the will of other people's schedule for the most part. So yeah, it's and plus I'm hosting these online tournaments and trying to get more into it, and also just potentially looking for jobs in case like the economy collapses. Like, hey, maybe Riot's hiring, or maybe some smaller esports company, or somebody is doing remote work, because that looks like where things might go depending on how this COVID situation continues. So yeah, I'm I kind of don't want to host online tournaments and compete in them at the same time because it's a little annoying. It's a little different from having physical people like sit at the commentary booth and run the stream for you, and even that like has ups and downs too. But yeah, I've kind of taken a back step from running and competing at the same time and just running the Street Fighter tournaments. Dragon Ball, I've kind of Street Fighter is my main fighting game. For people who may not know me, I try to compete and get better at Street Fighter, but I still like other fighting games. I just don't spend that much time playing those games. Dragon Ball and now Blaze Blue, actually, BB Tag, have both been getting my attention, and a little bit of UMVC3 sprinkled in there as well. And yeah, those are some of the fighting games that I've been dabbling with to get away from Street Fighter for a little bit. And I still play Street Fighter. I just play ranked, and I grind a training mode, but I just don't feel like competing right now because the reaction that I get when I lose is just not really healthy, and so I have to sit back and reevaluate because like there's too many other things going on in life. But that gets me to my next topic is alternative games, because we've talked about other solutions for burnout, the traditional stuff, but this situation's very different from what we normally experience in terms of burnout. So I think in this time it's healthiest to take a break from competing and whatever it is that's making you burnt out. For me specifically, it's competing in tournaments. It's not so much playing the game. It's just like I just don't want to compete. I don't want to do a best 2 out of 3. I want to play long sets or grind out rank. But I also want to play some non-fighting games because I have a lot more ish free time. So I've been playing a few games, but before I get into my games, I wanna hear about the games that you've been playing because I want to hear from your point of view. You even wrote a tweet longer that I can post in the notes as well. But tell me your experience. What have you been playing, and like feel free to gush about it because I wanna just talk about games right now.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm kind of playing through three, four-ish games right now. Currently I am playing through FF7 Remake, Persona 5 Royal, Legend of Runeterra, and a little bit of League. Those are the kind of the games that I've been touching recently. And League is just really like we've been getting some friends and we just like squad up, play some norms, like have some fun, which has been really nice. We've been having a lot of fun doing that because it's a little stress free. However, I spent before Final Fantasy VII came out, I was spending all of my time playing through Persona 5. Persona 5 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's definitely like up there. It's hard to tell which one is my number one, but like my top fives range around FF10, Persona 5, um, like Final Fantasy 7. And honestly, off the top of my head, I can't really think of the two others. But those three, like those shine in my head, like no doubt about it. Um, I'll probably like Kingdom Hearts 2. Um, and playing through Persona 5, I've put in I think 50 hours already into that game. And I put it on pause just to play through Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've been loving Persona 5 Royal. I think the game was already fantastic, and they add even more to the game to make it an even more of a 10 out of 10 experience for any JRPG. It's honestly like fantastic of a game to play through, and I love it so much. The combat is fantastic. The social links are amazing. Everything about the game has just been like buffed up and it's even better. Like the parts of the games that were slightly kind of shittier, like they just quality of life changed it and just made it for the better, which is so cool. Um but recently I've been playing a crap ton of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm already about 40 hours in and I'm getting close to the end of the game, I believe. I believe I'm around chapter 15, 16. I think 16. And honestly, it is such an amazing game. It's incredible how amazing a game can be at this day and age where it visually looks outstanding, gameplay wise feels amazing, and like just content wise is really really good. Like even though it's only the first disc of the game technically, um it still feels like a fully fleshed out game, which is so amazing, so good. Because if you didn't play the other Final Fantasy sevens, so far, like if I was a kid, I would still be, entranced. I'd I would really like the story, and I would be pretty like I haven't finished the game yet, but I would bet I would be wanting more, but also like pretty satisfied with the finish too, because the game's pacing has been fantastic. um Once the game starts opening up and then you get other side quests, it's fantastic. I've done every single side quest there is in the game, and honestly, like it's the best part because you get heavily rewarded for doing just side stuff, and it's so fun. And it's so fun. Every character that you play to just feels just like they play like butter, man. They're so good. It Every character from all the way to like Aerith. Aerith is probably the character that like is least playable, but she still has some really cool stuff. But Barrett, slowly but surely, has become one of my favorite characters in the game so far, and I have him like set up to be an absolute tank. But that character is so cool, gameplay wise, story wise, character wise, everything. It's so good, and I'm just sad that the game's gonna be finishing, and I know that, and I probably will replay it through again. But so far, like I'm just like happy. I'm happy that the game that I've been looking forward to for God knows how long. Like I played the game when I was 4. The game came out when I was born, so I never got to play it, of course, until like
Jeez.
way later. But my sister had the game, and I played it around when I was 4 or 5 on my sister's PlayStation, and it's just kind of went history since. Because honestly, that's the first game I can think of that for my childhood that I played. that actually left a key memory in me.
Wow.
So it's crazy to think about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And to be at this point in my life and then also playing it, I got to tell you, Tavian, I think if you ever get to play it, the combat you will love it. It is a fantastic mix of, did you ever play 15 or any of the Kingdom Hearts games?
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about replaying 15 just because of not having 17. I just don't want to spend the money right now. Like I played the demo, so I do understand the combat system. And I without going into too much detail, like funny story, Final Fantasy VII, the original, is the reason why I like JRPGs. Up until that point, I didn't like JRPGs because you may not remember this, but like the commercials, for me, like they always showed the cutscenes of the commercials. If you played 7, then you understand the cutscenes and the gameplay graphics are dramatically different. So I felt like I was being like catfished or something. Like when I see Final Fantasy, like I saw 7 and I saw the gameplay for like years on the line because I had like a jam pack of like demos. Didn't touch it. I saw like 8 come out and I was like, okay, that looks cool. That looks really nice. The graphics look insane. Like, holy crap. I think I saw it over a friend's house or something, and I was like, the graphics are trash. What is this? And then 9, I think, came out, and like other JRPGs were doing the same thing. Chrono Cross did the same thing. So I was like really, really bored. I think I had played hooky from home, like from school one day or something like that. And so I was like, okay, well, you know what? I played Bushido Blade, like the demo for that, like 20,000 times. I'm done with that one. I want to play a new demo that I haven't played yet. Final Fantasy VII, fine, let me give it a try, whatever. And I play through it. I'm like, what is this combat? Like, I hate this turn-based chess Like, I'll play chess if I want to play chess. Still, I just went through it and I was like, whoa, wait, what are these monsters? Because in the demo, you're playing the exact same scenario that you play in the demo for 7 Remake. So it's like beat for beat the same thing. So it's very fascinating seeing the original demo recreated, like the same exact like scenario. So I played that. You had Ifrit, Shiva, Barrett had Ifrit, Cloud had Bahamut, and then I think Tifa was there for some reason. Tifa was in it for some for whatever reason for the demo, and she had Shiva, I believe. And so I played that. I was like, this is pretty sick. Like, what is this? And I almost wound up quitting the original game because I think I rented it from Blockbuster or borrowed it from a friend or something like that because you didn't have the summons very like you were like level boosted in the demo, and I didn't understand that concept as a kid.
How it works.
Yeah, so I gave it a chance anyway, and I stuck through it. And I was like, the combat's actually kind of interesting. You know, there's some strategy involved in this. I like this. I like the powers. I like the level up. So 7 was actually the game that really got me into JRPGs in the first place. I probably wouldn't be into them if it wasn't for that game. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite Final Fantasy, but it is the game that got me into it. I think it's a fantastically made game, and so I am really excited to play it. There's 2 reasons I haven't gotten it. One is money, but 2, I've had a really bad habit of buying games and not beating them. So I want to actually play the games that I'm playing currently, beat a lot of those, and then that justifies me actually paying money for this game so that I can beat it. Yeah. That's my story of Final Fantasy VII.
I love it. So for the combat, I find it as a very, very nice mix. So Final Fantasy 15 combat, it's okay. It's not awful.
It's action turn-based.
Yeah, 15 combat is like fine. It's action turn-based. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it. But I would like to say it's a pretty good mix of fighting, like some sort of fighting game combat plus Kingdom Hearts 2 plus Final Fantasy 15. In the sense that you control every character, but you don't at the same time. But you can issue them commands, you can have them do stuff, and it's very strategic. It's actually very, very fun. It has a really nice the stagger system is honestly genius. I love the stagger system in 13.
13, yeah.
I love this. Also, a side note, I love 13. I really do like that game. I understand its flaws, but I really do enjoy that game. But the stagger system is really, really good, and it rewards you for playing smart and playing to your opponent's weaknesses. And just over the game just like the combat evolves more and more. And then when you get like the 1v1 boss fights, it's really, really cool because that's where the fighting game stuff starts coming in, where you gotta, be patient, wait for them to do a move that's like, risky. You go in, punish. And if they hit you with their combo, and then you're back to neutral. It's really, really cool. And especially with Cloud, who has his Punisher mode, if you're holding guard, he has like a counter. So
Yeah.
you wait for them to attack you, you counter them, and then you just wail on them. But even then, like you have to play it like really, really smart. And a lot of times later in the game, you can't just like be in Punisher mode and hold guard. You kind of just have to, because the second you press the button, he'll go into the counter state.
Uh-huh.
So you have to like get really good at timing that. So it's super, super cool.
Huh.
Um, the first boss fight that like really caught me was the Reno boss fight, where when you're fighting him, it's really just you, Cloud versus Reno, one on one, and it really shows you like how much the game is actually like interesting because Reno does a lot of like really interesting concepts and different kinds of stuff where that makes you think differently of how the combat works. Because you just can't wail on somebody. You can't just like mash square. You kind of have to be smart with your buttons, which is so cool. And that's the stuff I love about Kingdom Hearts 2, specifically critical mode, where it's just you got to be smart with your button presses, smart with your combos. When you get in and you stagger the enemy, you can do these full combos that feel so good to hit. Oh my goodness. Characters like Tifa 2 just blow up. And it's just like just insane amounts of DPS, and it feels so good. I like the idea of making your characters overpowered, but then
Yeah.
have them fight like really strong foes too. You get a lot of that, and especially if you do a lot of the side quest stuff. I've done all of the side quest stuff, and I'm definitely like I want to stay over leveled for where I am, but the game is still a decent challenge. Like I'm not,
Yeah.
it's not like a cakewalk, but it's still like a challenge for a lot of the bosses and a lot of the fights.
I like the game. I like games
Um,
that do that, like RPGs that don't always scale with your level, because it gives you some sense of progress when you go back to an area that gave you an issue before, and like maybe you're grinding for an item or something, and you're just bodying everything there. Like you earn that.
yeah.
That's how I feel about it anyway.
Another thing to add because I forget about it. The equipment system is really really neat. Instead of they've went with the idea of quality over quantity, where there's only a certain amount of weapons for each like character, but those weapons are very specialized and different, and to the point where you can upgrade every single weapon, and each one can be balanced in its own way for you.
Hmm.
They all have their own weapon trees and they have their own upgrades, and they also have their own skills, which is cool because when you get a new weapon, you have to learn its skill by using the weapon and using the mission that's on the weapon to gain the skill
Hmm.
permanently onto your character,
I
which
think
is
that's how
super.
7 was originally. Wasn't? No, that was 9. That was 9. I was like that.
Mm, I never played through 9. Funny enough, I
Oh,
own the
9 is my
game.
favorite, dude. Oh my
I've
god.
been so I've been meaning to play it, but so many games have jumped on top of me where I'm like, shit. Because I bought the Final Fantasy 8 remaster and Final Fantasy 9 together.
There's a
However, I
remaster of
have
9.
of 8, just
Oh,
not 9. But there is a PS4 version of 9 on, so I bought that. They were both on sale. But I have so many other games that I was like playing at the time and finishing.
hmm.
Um, so it's just been like game after game, dude. I bought what is it Horizon? I think
Horizon
that's the
Zero
name of
Dawn.
the. Yeah, I bought Horizon
Oh,
Zero Dawn on Black Friday. It's still like I
so did
haven't
I.
opened it.
I actually beat that. Me and my fiance sat. She watched and I played through the game. It's so good. But yeah, and to
That's
your point,
cool.
that's the issue. There's so many good games right now. I mean, everyone's
Yeah,
complaining about one game or another, but like tons of these games are well made, and I understand. I can relate. It's a
yeah.
first world problem for sure, but it is still a problem that we're
Oh,
experiencing.
oh yeah. But if anybody is really looking to spend if you never played a JRPG before and you want to jump in, I would recommend Persona 5, Royal specifically. The Persona 5 Royal is a very, very good game for newcomers and veterans alike. The Final Fantasy 7 remake's been really, really fun too, and you don't need to know the game beforehand. And I think they've made it a very tastefully done thing where the newer generation of kids are going to love it, while the older generation are going to love it too because of you know all the things that they've done for the game that still make it fantastic and good. Everything that they remember about the original, but like amped up to 11.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I kind of want to go back and play 9 again. When I had the flu, I actually sat down and watched a playthrough of it from this YouTuber. It's such a long game. I don't think I finished the playthrough The Let's Play. Oh man, I sat there and like watching the items and all that kind of stuff. It's yeah, nostalgia for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess any other points you want to make about that game or any other game that you're playing that you want to gush about?
You know what? I'll talk about Legend of Runeterra a little bit. I've been really
Hmm.
liking that game a lot lately. I haven't played it too much recently. However, I did climb all the way to Diamond before the game is going to be released, and I've decided
Ooh.
not to climb anymore because there's going to be a reset, which
Oh,
kind of
good
sucks, but
for
I
me.
understand it. Yeah, right. So I think I'm trying to remember. I'm D4 and I think it will put me to silver or something like that, or gold. I think it'll put me in gold, which is kind of frustrating, but it'll be okay. I'll get over it. But so far, I don't know if you've paid attention to any of the cinematics that have been coming out for
I saw
League.
that there was a newest one on League, but I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. I'm trying to remember what it was.
They're doing multiple cinematics for the card game for each region. Um Today they did Noxus, to date this podcast too.
Hmm.
But today they did Noxus and they've already done Demacia and Freljord. And honestly,
Yeah.
they've been fantastic pieces of content where it's super cool, filled up with lore, and now that there's a lot of like cards that reference a lot of stuff, you see a lot of cards like for example, there's a card named Captain Farron in Legend Runeterra, and you get to see him in the cinematic. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. That's like really
Oh
interesting.
yeah.
Um, so you get to see really cool stuff like that, and I think Legends of Runeterra is going to be probably one of the best card games, CCG card games for a while, because the game is fantastic. It gives a lot to people, and I've come from a pretty long history, not long, but a decent
Hmm.
history of card games where I've played Hearthstone for a long time. I played Shadowverse. I played Magic. I played Yu-Gi-Oh. Um,
Pokemon.
Surprisingly, no, I have not played any
What?
Pokemon.
That's the first trading card game I played.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
Um, I think out of like the bunch, like Yu-Gi-Oh has definitely been like closer to one of my favorites. I think it's a fantastic game in terms of archetypes and having your own unique play style for a card game, which is very surprising.
Hmm.
That each and every new installment of an archetype just creates something new for the game, and it's really fun. However, the pricings of Konami's choices are not the best, and that's why I don't play the game anymore. Uh,
Not
but I think
surprised.
Legend of Runeterra has that general key concept for the idea where each strategy is honestly like pretty viable. They want to balance every single card to be somewhat playable or playable in general.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to see that standpoint and actually see every single game I play. And this is probably the first time because I've played so much Hearthstone. Is every single game I get matched up with another deck or a deck of a different type of variance. And it's so cool to see something like that because I'm like, oh, um this guy's running War Mothers, which is like a Tryndamere and Nivea slow control deck. Wow, that's super cool. And then the next game I'll play against like a spider deck. The next game I'll play against a Yasuo deck. And it'll just go on and on and on. And it's like that's so cool that so many people have different strategies that they can play and they're all like viable to a
Hmm.
point.
Well, it depends on the
Obviously,
gods of
yes, there's
RNG.
yeah, obviously there's going to be really good decks. Like
Fiora.
Elnux was very very powerful for a while, but I climbed all the way to Diamond playing War Mothers, and that was during the time that spiders were very strong. So I just played a counter heavy deck, and it was really cool. I played another deck that was a mid range Demacia deck with Fiora Garen, and that deck was super fun too.
Hmm.
So it's just like a lot of these really cool new different ideas that they're putting in the game have been really really interesting, and the visuals are amazing. It's actually probably the slickest card game I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
so beautiful, and it keeps getting better. The newer cards that they've shown off Quinn and Sejuani. Both of their evolve animations are like 10 out of 10. Like holy crap. Like
Wins
they did
by.
not have to put in this much like they didn't have to do that.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not necessary, but they did it and it's really really cool. And you can tell that like the game reeks of love from the publishers. Like you
Hmm.
can tell that they actually love the game and they want the game to be good. And you can tell it from the design standpoint, from all the like the eye candy that goes on, all of like the little hints of lore that they got going on with each like card interacting with each other. Like it's not necessary, but they did
Oh
it and
yeah,
it's really cool.
the Battlecaster is where it's at.
Yeah, yeah, Battlecaster is honestly such a cool card. I love that card because for like all the wrong reasons, because it's just so annoying. But I
Yeah,
think it's really cool because he's just a shoutcaster, dude.
yeah. It's like when
And
Draven
it's
comes out there.
oh my god. And you know, you hear him like actually like yell and you're like, dude, shut up.
I love it though. I love when he's on the
Yeah.
board and I get like Draven or Darius or something like that. Draven's just like, "Don't talk to me. What are you doing? Get out of here." Yeah, it's great. And there's
um
multiple different lines of dialogue too.
yeah. Oh yeah, and each card like there's so much. There's so
Mhm.
much that they've put into the game. And I'm really excited to see that game like evolve and go for the better. I'm very surprised the game isn't as popular as it is right now. But maybe, and I think it's honestly because they didn't advertise, and now they're advertising for it specifically.
Well, yeah, they tested
But
out worked all the bugs now, and like one of the things
yeah,
that like James Chin, I was watching a live stream from him not like a couple days ago, and he was talking about trading card games. He was doing, like he does a lot of other games and stuff, and so he was talking about Teppen, and he was saying that how he was learning Teppen, and he was talking to one of his friends who plays a lot of TCGs because I don't think James Chen did. And he was like, "Yeah, there's only like 4 or 5 good decks in the game." And he was like, and his friend was like, "That's pretty good." And he's like, "I said there's only 4 or 5." He's like, "Yeah, that's pretty good." And at that moment he was like realizing that most trading card games tend to have like one dominant deck at any time during its lifespan, one or two, I guess. And that was an eye opener for me because I don't play hardcore TCGs. I play them with friends. Like I played Magic, Magic Arena, the Xbox 360 versions, Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't know what the heck, or not Yu-Gi-Oh. Pokemon. I didn't know what I was doing. Hearthstone. I played it, but like I think I only got to like bronze, maybe silver, because I didn't play it too much. And then Teppen was one that I actually like legitimately liked and wanted to grind and got their ranking system's a little bit weird, but I think I got to like C or B in that.
their ranking system is very similar to Shadowverse, which is it's letter based, so
So,
D C
rip.
E A double A. Um, yeah, I actually enjoyed Teppen for the time, like the small time that we played it. It was a really
Mm.
cool active card game that was. It had a lot of really unique stuff, but
Mhm.
I never really got into the completely competitive portion. I did a lot more homebrew stuff. But generally when I play card games, I like to know what archetypes there are, what archetypes are good, and then find the optimized stuff for those archetypes, and then play them, see how I like them, and then change them to my style, or change them around a little bit to fit like how I want to play them.
Mhm.
And um, and generally that's really fun because you get to find out some really cool new strats that you didn't even think like existed. You find synergy cards that you didn't even like think about. um but yeah, for in terms of tiers and like stuff like that for Hearthstone or any other games, through my experience, yeah, it generally comes down to one or two decks become a very like the deck to play, and one of two things can happen. You can have uh the one dominant deck be the only deck that's played, or you will have uh two or three dominant decks played, and it's kind of like a rock paper scissors, and there might be like a couple of rogue decks here and there, but generally they lose. When I played hard Shadowverse a long time ago, there was a rock paper scissors format that I played a lot of, and I genuinely hated it because it was so unfun. um, and for anybody who actually plays Shadowverse that like wants to date this, it was mid-range Shadow, Dirt Rune, and Control Dragons. That shit was cancer. Oh my goodness. It's just awful. This was back when I was streaming it too. And my goodness, I could not believe how much I could grow to hate a game because of an awful format like that. Because I was straight up winning 50% of my matches. And when you're trying to climb, you can't do 50%. It's just the worst because I would start the stream like at one point and then end the stream roughly the same where I started. And it's like, man, what happened?
Mhm.
What went wrong? I got to A3. Oh no. Did I get to double A? I think I got to double A or A3. Oh, um, so Yeah, it's nice to see Runeterra just have a lot of key, really good strats for a lot of different decks. They said in their dev diaries that they strive to at least have one good deck per region. And I think they've definitely succeeded in that sense because there is a lot of really good regions. I want to say probably the weakest region would probably be maybe Freljord, but even then, Freljord has a lot of really good stuff. Maybe
Brahm's
Noxus
pretty
too.
OP.
Yep, Brahm's really nice. You got a lot of really good late game stuff from them too, but their best deck probably is like a mid range Frostbite deck with Ash. But a lot of the newer cards that they're adding right
Nivea's
now
busted too.
are super super cool. Yeah, Nivea is pretty insane late game. Um, I really like because for Shadow Isles, the one of the new cards that's coming in and the new like things that they're adding is Maokai, and Maokai has a really cool new keyword that he's adding, which reminds me so much of Yu-Gi-Oh! With a deck called Light Sworns, where you play a card and you mill your own deck, or you discard stuff in your own deck to play the card. So what would happen is like if you play the card's effect would be pitch 3 cards from your deck, and it would pitch the top 3 cards of your deck.
Mm-hmm.
And you would do stuff like that, and you would get bonuses whether or not like what gets pitched or stuff like that. But for Maokai specifically, he has like kind of like once he evolves, his evolve is literally take out every single card from your opponent's deck except for 4 champions. And it's like, oh my god, that's
What?
actually like a win con.
What is
But
this
you have to
called?
I'm trying to remember what the keyword is called. That's true.
Okay.
That's a great question. I genuinely don't remember. I'll double check though. Oh, the new keyword is toss. Also, they have like newer design looks for the characters. Quinn looks different. Maokai looks slightly different. Okay, so the keyword is toss. There's a card that's coming out. Let's see. There's a spell card, 3 mana, toss 3, which means get rid of 3 cards from the top of your deck to heal all allies 3. So generally, that's pretty good. The only thing is that can kind of suck is if you run out of deck or if you get rid of cards that are really important. But generally, if you're playing a card or a deck like that, you kind of set yourself up so you're okay with pitching cards. Yeah, there's a 3 mana 3/2 life steal when I'm summoned toss 2. I don't think that'll be generally too good. But they've added at least cards to help support the new keyword and support the new champ, which is really, really cool. I'm really, really curious on how the game is going to turn out for
Yeah.
once it actually comes out, because I think it's going to be, I hope it's going to be a massive success. It really should be. I genuinely think if the game doesn't like blow up,
Yeah.
I don't know what went wrong because it's doing everything right.
I hope they add spectator to it. I would like to look at doing tournaments for it too, if possible.
They're gonna show a new region eventually, and it's already been leaked, but I won't say it in the podcast for people's sake. But the new region should be probably the last thing that they show off, and the fact that they're adding a whole new region too is super super cool, because that just means it's going to be new new champions, new cards, new keywords, all of that.
Tournaments will be ideal. Setting aside this game, I am very excited for it. I do want to like gush a little bit about what I've been playing a little bit, because I have been playing that until the phone version stopped working for me for whatever reason. So I stopped. That's basically when I stopped playing it. I'm excited for it to be back on phone because I'll probably play it a lot more than being on PC. But no, I've been playing a lot of non-competitive games. I've been playing a little bit of Overwatch and League of Legends as well. That hasn't really changed from anything before, so I wouldn't really consider that. But one game I've played a lot that I didn't expect to like was Vermintide 2, Warhammer Vermintide 2. It's basically if you take Left 4 Dead, Destiny 2, and a little bit of Diablo and put it into a game in Middle Earth. So that's essentially what it is. It's really, really cool. So you have the Left 4 Dead element where you like have hordes of AI coming at you, special monsters, which are basically like almost exact ripoffs of like what they do. Like you have the fat dude that vomits on you, but also like he has a couple of magical powers as well. Like he can summon a poison tornado. You have like a hook rat that like basically gets like a what are those guys called? The animal control ropes and like hooks you and pulls you away. You have one that like tackles you and stuff like that. bosses, but like your progress actually saves, and you go back to like the central hub, and like you can upgrade your equipment, you can upgrade your like your weapons. You have each character has three different archetypes or builds, I guess. Like I play the mage character, which doesn't use any ammunition; they just use magic, and it's all about like it's a pyromancer. So they summon fire. They have three different versions of it. One's like a battle mage. One is like almost like a kamikaze type character that blows up in your face, and there's one that's like well balanced between it. All characters have melee, so it's swords and there's ranged weapons, and it's 4-player co-op. If you don't have friends with you, it'll give you AI that is decent. It'll teleport, so it doesn't have to worry about getting stuck anywhere. But me and Frodo have been playing that game a good bit, and I'm definitely enjoying that. Surprisingly, I don't really sit down and play a lot of games, and I'll even play it by myself. I don't tend to play co-op games on my own. So that game, I don't think it's on sale. It might be on sale now. As of this recording, it was on sale, but it's really good. I recommend that game. Check it out. I've been going back and speed running Streets of Rage 2 in anticipation for Streets of Rage 4 to come out, but also just because I love Streets of Rage 2, and seeing all this new content for 4 coming out has been getting me excited about playing the game. So I go back, listen to the music, play the game, try to speed run it for a new challenge. It's really fun. I really, really enjoy that. The other game that I'm super enjoying playing is the new Spider-Man game. I say new. I
Oh,
say new. It's probably been
that
out for like
game,
a year.
it's legit so good.
Yeah, that's on
Honestly,
sale.
it's a fantastic game. I would highly recommend.
Yeah, it's on sale right now on PlayStation, so I scooped it up for like $17. That and BB Tag actually are both on
Oh,
sale.
nice.
Yeah, so
BB Tag's it's a fun game. I actually am thinking about like getting into BB Tag a little more just for funsies.
yep.
But for Spider-Man, I 100% that game, and I think it's super super good.
I'm tempted to. I want to beat the game first because I'm scared of like the whole me not beating games thing. But I have been enjoying it a lot. Like I'm just like me and my son will play it because he actually likes watching me like swing around. So I'm literally just like standing up playing the game. I have a TV that's like about eye level if I stand up. It's mounted up high, so I'll just stand there and play because like I'll dance around and like get him moving around, and I'll like wee like just swinging around and beating up bad guys and just yelling and talking smack to them. It's
Oh,
pretty
that's
fun. Every
great.
now and then I'll stream it too, so you can check me out on Twitch
Ooh.
if you want to. Like I don't stream with the camera on because I don't have a PS4 camera,
Oh,
but
I
I
get
figure
that.
people can just hang out and chat with me while I like me and my son play and just have fun. It's a really really great game. I used to love Spider-Man. I played the one on PS1, the one on Xbox 360 that was all right. I think it was a Spider-Man 2 movie or whatever. I want to say I can't remember. I think it was Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi ones. And that one was actually pretty good. I can't remember what console was on though, but yeah, there was a few decent Spider-Man games and some that I played just because I love Spider-Man. He's one of my favorite superheroes, next to the Hulk and Black Panther. So I had to play it. And then yeah, BB Tag I just got into. I did like a training session with Noah, and then I actually settled on Ragna and Jin because they're pretty basic and they actually combo well pretty together. They combo pretty well together. So I've been playing that here and there because I thought it was a simple game. It's actually not. It's just the
Which game is
inputs are
this?
simple. BB Tag.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's crazy because it advertises itself as a game that's simple, but it's honestly far from that.
The
Like
inputs are simple,
the
but
inputs are simple. It's a 4 to 5 button in like
5 buttons.
button
Yep.
game.
There's 3 attack buttons, the partner button, and then like the special
The
button that
assist button.
yeah, assist button. Yeah, so I would say they were like, hey, you know what? These inputs are really simple. Let's make this game crazy as hell now because everyone should be able to do it. And it's just like there's so
Everybody isn't
much.
able to do it. However, it is super cool what you are allowed to do because I don't know if I'll ever get to the level of some combos people have been doing that I've seen on like some highlight reels. I'm like, dude, I don't think that I could actually do that. I don't think
Yeah,
I can like conjure up that kind of idea where they're like they summon their partner, have the partner on board, and they keep switching back and forth between each moves. Like
the
it's
cooldown
crazy.
is so fast. Like Noah kept telling me to like tag more, and I was like, dude, I'm so used to Dragon Ball and like Marvel.
Yeah,
I'm not used to having my cooldown as soon as he's like back off the screen. Jeez. So yeah, I've been getting used to that and trying to abuse the whole tag system. But it's really fun. It's a little bit refreshing. And I've been playing
there's a
Blaze
lot
Blue
of really cool
characters.
characters too.
Yeah.
I really because I'm a big fan of Persona, of course. So there's a lot of really cool Persona characters,
Hmm.
and that game also helped me actually like discover Under Night and find out what it's really about. which was super cool because I really like Gordeau and BB Tag. So, and I'm not good at Gordeau and Eunice. However, I found Akatsuki and he was cool. And then I don't like Akatsuki and BB Tag, which is the funniest thing to me.
Rip.
But it's just cool because there's so many cool characters that have different styles, and they've added so much to that game now. It's pretty cool as a newcomer. I think it's a really good fighter to go in if you want to like play tag fighters.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really good one to start off with because
Yeah, I feel like
I
if you
think
get
the
good at that
tutorial
game,
system's really good.
yeah.
The combo trials are actually like pretty challenging and pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's challenging enough that you can get them down. And they're not like completely impossible. There's a couple in particular. I remember there was one for like Aegis that was really difficult,
Mm.
but most of them I've completed with ease. Like not with ease, but like
There's one for
got
Jin I can't figure out, and it's really it's not hard. It's just that like the only hard part is I have to jump 3 times, and I'm like, it's. Have you played Jin before?
yeah.
Okay, so
I played I main Jin and Continuum Shift Extend.
oh cool. So his 236M, like his the sword projectile that starts off slow
Yeah.
and like has multiple hits. Like you can do his jump C in the air and then 236 into that, and it'll combo, and you can do it twice in a row. And then like, but you have to immediately jump, and then I think the third time you have to super jump. But it's hard to explain. But when you land, it's like really sticky because it takes a while before you can jump again. So I have to delay my jump because I'm jumping too soon, and it's just like it's frustrating because the combo itself is not hard. It's just me jumping back up while he's getting hit is like the only hard part. So it's like, oh
It's
my
weird.
god,
It's hard, especially since you're a Street Fighter player too.
yeah,
And it's completely opposite from me because when I'm playing, you know, tag fighters, like I know that like normal moves can cancel into special moves, and mostly inputs are very very fast and very quick, and generally like you can cancel almost everything into anything,
yeah.
which is super cool to me. But then when I play something like Street Fighter where I gotta link something, I'm so garbage. I'm pretty sure I've done a couple of the combo trials in SF5, but it's so hard for me to wrap my mind around comboing in games like SF5. It's just so
It takes some
it's
time.
so hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it takes time. I don't want to delve too deep into the mechanics of it, but it's a different world sometimes. It feels like compared to like MK feels closer to an anime fighter because of how you can dial in combos rather than Street Fighter, where it's mainly
You
links.
can literally buffer in your whole combo, bro. That thing's insane to me.
Yeah.
That seems absolutely bonkers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some of you have to do it in that way, otherwise it doesn't come out. It's really weird. Like Aaron Black had or has one. I think they patched it out. That works that way. But no, yeah, those are the games that I'm playing right now. I've thoroughly been enjoying Vermintide. I'm wanting more people to get into it. I just bought Civ because that was like $5 or something crazy. So I'm probably going to see if I can get some people together to play that or a couple other games because I want to have more. I love co-op games. If you ask me my favorite genre of game is, it's co-op. But you can't really. In today's day and age, it's really hard to like for me to play co-op games consistently. But I'm trying right now because a lot of people are home. I'm actually like. I didn't realize how much of not an extrovert. I'm an introvert by nature, but even I like find myself like I need to see who's online, and I don't normally think that way. I don't normally think like I need to see who's online to hang out with somebody online. And
Yeah, same. I'm generally
doing that.
the way I do online is I don't invite people too much, but I'm like, I let other people invite me, and then I'll decide whether or not I'm gonna join.
Yeah, that's what I do.
It's hard because like it's not that I don't want to hang out with people. It's just a lot of times I'm just like, yeah, I'll just play. I'll just play by myself. Like I don't think
Mhm.
about like hanging out with somebody constantly. Like, yo, what's the crew up to? Like,
Right?
nah,
Yeah,
I'm just like
I used to be like that when I was
pop
in
in the party
college.
chat.
Yeah, but now I'm just like, man, because basically after 9 o'clock I work on stuff, and then I give myself some gaming time, and I'm just like, who's online? Who wants to hang out? I don't do it in all chat because like it feels too desperate or something for me to be like, hey, who wants to play some games? Unless it's like a fighting game. But like lately, I haven't really been feeling like I don't feel like being competitive. I just want to learn. If anything, I don't want to hop into a lobby and talk smack. I just want to be like, hey, let's play. I played the first of 10 with Flash Kick. I didn't even say anything. I was like, hey, I don't want to talk. I just want to listen to my music and play a first to 10, watch the VODs afterwards. So you cool with that? He's like, yeah, that's fine with me. Played a first to
Yeah.
10. I got washed, and I'm like, okay, cool. All right, thank you. You know, I don't tend to like actually talk when I'm playing matches. So like that whole experience for me is like, because I think a few times we played lobbies in Dragon Ball, and I'm just like, you know, I hate waiting for my match. I don't want to talk during my match. I feel like I shouldn't be here. And then there's certain
For
people.
the ring matches.
Yeah, like I like the idea of it for just social interaction, but like if I'm trying to get good, like I hate them. Like I honestly, I do not like them.
I understand. I'm a little in between, right? Because I haven't really ever had that experience until like recently with the ring matches, and I do kind of like it because I like the idea of spectating, watching, see what people are doing, and then
Yes.
like wanting to beat somebody's ass who just beat you last game. And you're like, oh, get me back in, put me back in. Like I'm gonna beat their ass.
That makes sense.
I really like that aspect when it comes to the ring matches. However, I wish there was a better system for it. Ring matches in Dragon Ball can be really frustrating to work with.
I do like that there's 2 lobbies within one lobby though. So I will give that
nice.
to Dragon Ball, because like if I don't
That
feel
is
like
very
waiting,
nice.
sometimes I can just get into a match.
I just wish the lobby system wasn't the way it was. I just wish it was just a regular menu and people can just join a party. God,
Yeah,
it's just so frustrating. It's like, what lobby are you in? Oh, East Coast 3, lobby 2. Okay,
yeah. Well, I wish
full.
you could invite people, and I wish they wouldn't put you into a random server before you have to back out.
Yeah,
the server.
What's
Those
that
two
about?
Things. Those
Let
two
me
things.
choose what server I want to go to first.
Yeah, if they did that, then you'd be a-okay, because you can just like hop into their lobby or like see or have a friends list or something like that. Those things, because Street Fighter has the same issue. I don't understand why these fighting games want to do that. Street Fighter has a buy because it's cross-platform, and I kind of get that, because they have the CFN, and you can invite people via their CFN, like their Capcom Fighting Network name or whatever. So you can technically invite people to your lobby within Street Fighter, regardless of what console they're on. It's just that you can't do it if you're both on PS4 or something like that. So I don't think. I play on PC, so maybe you can. I don't know. You can't invite via Steam. I know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. I will say, if you're listening to this, let us know what games you're playing during this whole quarantine situation, whether you're watching this on YouTube or the podcast app that you're using, whatever it may be. Let us know what you're playing right now, and if you do play Vermintide, make sure you let me know what your Steam account is so I can actually play some co-op with you people. I'm level 30 right now with the Battle Mage is what I'm rocking. So if you're looking for some games in that, let me know. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for listening. Any closing responses from you, Max?
Everybody, please stay safe. Wear gloves. Wear gloves. Out of all things, please wear your masks. Try to stock up. Don't go outside. Play some games. Talk to people online. Just try to pass the time. Try not to be so stressed out.
Now's a good time to get into games.
I will say tonight, anytime, best time, games. There's so much to go for, and it's the easiest way to just have time pass by without you even like knowing.
Yep, and there's a genre for everybody. So there's a genre out there. You just may have been introduced to the wrong one, or may just not have the confidence to think that you're competent enough to play those kinds of games. Whatever it may be, give it a go. Try it out. There's some free games out there on Steam or on consoles, so there's a lot of options that you don't have to invest a lot of money, because I'm not spending a lot of money right now. I'm like a small amount of money, and then the rest of it's going towards like savings and other amenities. Also DoorDash. DoorDash is really good if you want some food. Like I've been getting coffee from Dunkin' Donuts because I'm not going out, but I will order DoorDash and then just have them drop it off the door and then like take it out of the bag and everything. Just be safe about it. There's some options out there if you don't want to get out of the house and get some food, depending on where you live. So stay safe. Thank you guys so much. Max, where can they find you? What may you have going on right now if they want to reach out to you?
I got my youtube.com/Megamaxstar. I might start streaming sometime soon. We'll see. When Legend of Runeterra probably releases, I might be playing a little more of that on stream. That sounds like fun. Mm-hmm. So yeah, twitch.tv/Megamaxstar. Come follow me. Come say hi. And that's about it for me.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm the Philosopher, Tavian Napier. You can find me on youtube.com/the Philosopher. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, it's the Philosopher as well. Check out our Facebook as well. We're doing online tournaments, KZoo FGC. You can go to facebook.com/groups/Facebook FGC. Also, a link to our Discord will be down there as well if you want to join our Discord. That's our most active way of doing it. Every Thursday, basically from 6 to 11 to 12-ish, we do online tournaments. Tekken, Dragon Ball, Street Fighter. I think we just added BB Tag. What is that game? Grand Blue Versus. We're doing that. So also, if you're interested in doing an online tournament with us, let us know if you want to host one. We're always looking for other forms of games that you might want to do. We just need more people to do it. So that said, thank you guys so much. As always, we will see you all in the next one.